Welcome again to another time here on Hang Out with Pierre. I'm so glad to have everyone here once again. It's been a beautiful journey so far, and I trust that you have been blessed. Today, we'll be looking at the power of understanding. The good book tells us that wisdom is the principal thing, and in all our getting, we should get understanding. Men would always tend and act in line of what they understand or comprehend. From this perception is solidified and attitudes and dispositions are formed. Ever wonder why you're not continuing in doing some certain things? Why it seems like you're being forced? It feels like you always, or people give you attitude when you need to get them to do some things. You get them to show up, you want them to act right, to do the things that they ought to do. One of the reasons or one of the bedrocks of the issue is lack of understanding. If they understood what it is that they're doing, if they understood all that is about, then it will be more easy. It will be easier for them to continue. The continuity of a thing is rooted in the comprehension of that thing. If anything is going to continue, there has to be a level of understanding that comes from that thing, and there's certain sphere of understanding that we need to consider, and it's something that we also need to have in order to be able to communicate appropriately. Number one thing is the intention or the purpose of a thing. It says, when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable, and also the continuation is at stake. When people understand why they do what they do or why they need to do a certain thing, and there is a proper grounding in the comprehension of the purpose of that thing, then there is more or less a guarantee that there will be that willingness to continue. Then the second sphere of understanding is the demand of that thing. What is going to be required in order to get it done, to fulfill that purpose? What is it going to demand from me? What will it demand from others? What will it demand from the environment? Under what conditions would the purpose of that thing be established? And he says that the third sphere is the benefit or the impact of adhering to what is required, that is within for the individual, and also as it influences their surroundings and everyone else who is in it. The act of understanding must be progressive for growth and success to continue. It must be progressive. The way you understood last year, 5 years ago, if you don't build on that understanding, if you have not acquired or deepen your understanding on that subject, then your growth, your development, your success rate can be stunted or reduced drastically. Knowledge is surplus. There's a lot of information all around us. There's a lot of things you look around on the internet, even from discussions, interactions, relationship. There's a lot of information. Even nature, as it were, nature is filled with a lot of knowledge for those who are patient enough to observe. It says, however, it's our responsibility to filter the appropriate ones, the appropriate informations. However, understanding can be limited if one is too rigid to embrace and deepen our cognitive reasoning. That is, we have to build our capacity for understanding. And one of the ways is to realize that change isn't bad. Change isn't a bad thing. The world is dynamic. Life itself is dynamic. It's not stagnant. It's not static in any way. However, its foundation just has to be true. The foundation of change just has to be sincere. Okay, and it says that understanding is in stages, and it applies to all things and everyone. Understanding is in stages. We have various levels of understanding. Never use another person's level of comprehension to weigh the legitimacy of a thing. No, because we all understand at different levels. We are all at different stages of our understanding. We have to deepen our appreciation of a thing if we want to move from the place of obligation to a place of devotion. We have to deepen our appreciation for that thing, and it boils in us we need to have the willingness to test, to put to practice, as sometimes experience and evaluations are important tools to aid our understanding. Only fools doubt proofs. Hey, hey. Only fools doubt proof. So, yes, we're trying to acquire knowledge, trying to sit down, comprehend, but sometimes we need to put it to work. We need to put that thing that we're trying to understand. We need to put it to practice, because the results thereof and our evaluation of the results would help us, will aid our understanding of that very thing, and also get us to a place where we even get more in value from that test. Understanding helps our ability to replicate and reproduce a result or an outcome. When we understand it, we can replicate it, and if we can replicate it with that same understanding, impacting it in other people, they can also reproduce that same result even better in their lives. We need to understand also is that understanding is the conditioning of the heart to ascend to the legitimacy of a body of knowledge, with the intention to draw strength and action to achieve specific results and outcomes. In other words, understanding is a thing of the heart. Understanding is a thing of the heart. When the heart is worked on, when the status of our heart improves, it also affects our level of understanding, and helps us to determine the legitimacy of a body of knowledge. Understanding also helps us to caution our steps, to order our steps, as it were, to help us not to go in the wrong direction. We might not know what we need to do in its entirety, but the understanding of a thing helps us not to make the wrong move, not to take the wrong step, not to go in the wrong direction. All I'm saying in summary is that understanding is the power for continuity. Is that if there is anything you're struggling with that you know you should be doing that you're not doing well, why not take out time and deepen your understanding about that thing? Sit down, find out the purpose, get a deeper insight concerning the purpose and what it will cost you, what the demand would be, and therefore look at how it will benefit your life, how it will be a blessing to you and to those around you. Till I come away next time, God bless you all. Bye for now.